What's going on?
Let me get some volume real quick, Willie Jack.
All right.
Oh, we in there now.
Sure.
We in there now. How you doing, sir?
Oh yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Another day, another dollar.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Yeah, get them on in here. Get them on in here. What's going on, my good people? Tune on in. Y'all know what time it is. Tune on in. How was your day today, Willie Jack?
Oh yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool. We had a work lunch, so went out and man, that after them big ass work lunches, boy, it'd be hard to keep your eyes open.
Hey, dog. Especially they take you one of them places they got some sandwiches or something that's gonna be real heavy. They're gonna sit real heavy on you, boy.
Man,
They set you up.
Dog, they took us to this place. We didn't have them in Columbia or Fulton. I don't know if they got them in St. Louis, and I called Babe's Chicken. It's like a home style, like comfort food place, like bro, like chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, like you know what I'm saying, like full, like you know what I'm saying, stuff to sit on your stomach. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like man,
mashed potatoes gonna definitely sit there. It's gonna sit
bro,
there.
I'm trying,
it ain't going nowhere.
Man, mashed potatoes, gravy, bro, biscuits, man, you name it.
Look, it almost got you saying the wrong words.
Man, I'm telling you, bro, I'm mad about it now. I'm like, man, they know they was wrong. Man, they know they was wrong.
But ain't it good when your job take care of you though? That's good
Man,
though.
Man, that's one thing they do is feed us, boy. I tell you that.
Hey, my job do the same thing, but they take care of us as well. We have so much lunch at our job, it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
I'm surprised we ain't over budget right now. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah, man. Well, Willie Jack, I think it's about that time, man, that we go ahead and jump on in, man. Let them know what's going on. All right, man. So let me get here. Let me pull this up. And I like some of these posts you made, man. These very interesting, man. I might, the ones you put up, man. This NFL offenses, you know, some of these, man. Those some interesting ones too, man. Puts the offensive tackles up there.
Yeah, man. They didn't beat me to the punch, man. I think probably this time last year, I'd already had a couple rankings out, man. You know what I mean? I've been slipping on my pimp just a little bit, but we still gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? We still gonna get there.
It's all right.
Now that we know what they think, you know what I'm saying? We'll come out. I come out, put a list together that, you know what I'm saying, a real one together. You know what I'm saying? We see what they thinking though.
Yeah,
what you think about that one though? I know you weren't sure about Jarvis Smith, the offensive tackle one.
Yeah, so I felt like it was pretty good. That I actually like the list up until you get down to where Tyron Smith is. I think Slater, like I said, I think Slater is going to be the one that's going to move up that list as the years go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to be on this list after only your rookie year is very impressive. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, Tristan Wirfs just the year before was probably on this list. I don't know if he made the list. I remember the list from last year, but I don't remember if he made it after year one. But he's definitely made his mark to where he's like, yeah, I'm here. And I'm gonna be the tackle of the future. You know, once
exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Once Trent Williams and Bakhtiari, man, they take their time and move on, man.
Tristan first coming.
He's the guy for some years to come. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be that guy where it's like he's gonna be the standard of the league at offensive tackle for some years, man. After the two guys take off, so. You know,
so I agree. Only thing I would say about the list, and it was a solid list. The 10 spot they had Taylor Moton from Carolina.
From the Panthers,
yeah, from the Panthers. And I was like, it's not a terrible pick, but and you know what? Shout out to Duke. He ain't in here yet, but because he's an Eagles fan. But that left tackle from the Eagles, the dude, I ain't gonna try to pronounce his name, but dude like 6'8", 350. I don't know if he's the one that used to play rugby or something like that, but nah, he the real deal.
Yeah, he nice too.
He played like we want Becton to play because he's got that type of size, but he definitely. Well, Becton's an athlete, so I won't necessarily say moves better, but he's more fluid just as a tackle, and especially in pass pro. So I think he really could have been on that list as well in that tough spot.
That's some rugby skills.
Man, yeah, it got to be. That's a big boy, man. That's a big boy. Yes. So I think he could have got a little love on there. But yeah, all in all, though, it was a pretty solid list.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid. And most of the time when you get a list from like a PFF or something like that, names don't be crazy on their list. It don't be crazy names on there where it's just like, oh, this is totally out of place. You know what I'm saying? They be you somewhere in the ballpark as far as my opinion goes, and it's all opinionated anyway. You know what I mean? But it's you know, everybody know when I come with it and I bring that opinion to the table, it's almost facts. You know what I'm saying? It's as close to facts as you can get. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Willie, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Welcome to another episode of Let the Film Speak. I am one of your hosts, Chop, here with my main man, Willie Jack, and y'all know what time it is, man. We're here to bring it to you. We got a lot of news today, a lot of things happening, man. We got a lot of signings. We got a few faces and some new places, you know, with some of these signings, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to definitely jump into some of those a little bit. And then, of course, you know, we're going to talk about, you know, some of the new faces and new places, you know, some of the offseason moves and which ones we felt like were, you know, some of the most impactful moves this offseason, you know, coming into this 2022-2023 season. So we're going to definitely jump into that. But first, let's go ahead and jump into some of the news, Willie Jack, first and foremost.
Yeah. Man, hold on real quick before we get started.
Okay,
look, hey, Mama, look. Mama, I appreciate you jumping the show. Mama, it tells us you watching. You don't have to comment that you watching. My mama do this every week, bruh. My mama comment that she watching the show. Like, now, if we get an alert, it says you watching. Like, we got it. My bad.
Hey, nah, you good. Mama, you good. Let us know. You know what I'm saying? That's your own style. You know what I'm saying? Bring your own kilo to the show. I appreciate it, Mama. Let them know. Say, look, I am watching this show.
Yeah,
I'm letting y'all know I'm watching it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my fault, man. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Wife in the building. What's going on, wife? But yeah, man, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. I didn't want to start the show off with some troubled news, so I'm gonna start it somewhere else, man. I'm gonna go to one of the signings, man, of one of the guys headed to another team. We got Melvin Ingram, man. He signs a 1-year, $5 million deal to the Miami Dolphins, going over there to pair with the other defensive end and Jalen Phillips, guy out of Miami. What do you think of this move, Willie Jack?
I was surprised by this one. Well, I don't mind the fit at all. For sure, he's gonna bring some veteran leadership over there for sure. And especially like I said, they got a young guy, Jordan Phillips, who had a pretty decent year last year, or at least statistically. Yeah, I think he had about 7-8 sacks. They got Emmanuel Ogbaz over there, plays like 5 tech on the, you know what I'm saying, kind of on the line. So they've got a lot of really nice pieces over on that defense. I'm more so surprised that Kansas City went ahead and let him go. I feel like he was really a spark plug that helped kind of really turn the tide for that defense once he got over there and got the lineup next to Chris Jones. Remember, they've been trying to find consistent pass rush over there. Frank Clark has been a terrible, or been essentially a bust as far as the signing trade they did with Seattle when they brought him in. They haven't got their return on the money they gave him. And so I would have thought that they were going to eventually bring him back. I know some of the guys in the group, that are Chiefs fans, they were saying, like, man, we ain't worried about it, man. He coming back. They just, you know what I'm saying, woo. But nah, he went ahead and got about that thing, man, went to Miami. You know what I'm saying? Tariq FaceTimed him and showed him the beach, and he was like, man, you know what, man? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make a move, man. So he went down to the South Beach. So I like the move and the fit, though.
Yeah, and I like the move, too, specifically because, well, one, Miami's been making a lot of offseason moves, man. They brought out a lot of different pieces, you know, to try to help take them to the next level, to help compete in the division. For sure. You know, and help, you know, hopefully land them a playoff spot and make some noise. You know, so really the more pieces that they continue to add, it's starting to look like the QB position is the one and only position that they need to be successful or pretty solid for them to be a good team this year. You know what I'm saying? The more pieces you see them add. So I'm anxious to see what that's going to look like and what this team really turns into when it comes to that. What's up?
No, for sure. Like they've definitely given Tua everything that he should need to succeed. So it's literally just all on him now. Like I don't really, they brought in addition to the offensive line. Now one piece doesn't make a line, but still, they've got what some may say is the most important piece to the line, and Teron Armstead coming over from the Saints, so he's there. And that should be a great or tremendous boost to that line, which was one of the worst in the league last couple of years. So everything, the table is set for Tua. So it's really going to be, it's all on him, man. How far or how far this team goes. Like I said, if they don't succeed or don't make a real run as a contender, I don't think it's going to be nobody else to blame but Tua.
Gotcha. Jarrell in the building, Rello in the building. What's going on? But since you brought up the Saints, man, it's only right that I go ahead and continue to talk about some of the other.
Hey, you like how I did that? You like I did that? You caught the live, yeah. You caught that,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? You throw the live, it's way to LeBron. You know what I'm saying? You know what's gonna happen
already.
You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is look down and throw your arms out. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
I'm already running down the court. Arms is out. I ain't even look back.
That's it. Jarvis Landry, man, former Cleveland wide receiver, man. He goes back to his hometown, to New Orleans, and signs a deal with the Saints. He signs a 1-year deal worth $3 million. Actually, he has $3 million in incentives on top of that as well. So Landry is definitely ecstatic, going back home, get to play for the hometown team. I actually like the move. I think it's a great move because you had another weapon on the offensive side of the ball. We've already talked about the defense in which they could very well have the best defense in the league. You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done and when them boys get out there and start playing, you know what I'm saying? So that's looking good. But by adding this piece, not only do you have, two guys that can be mentors to the young Suave Alave, you know what I'm saying?
Suave Alave.
They can be mentors. But I also think Olave is ready to get down now. You know what I'm saying? So by having 3 weapons versus just the 2, it just opens things up more for those other guys and for Alvin Kamara. So I'm anxious to see what this offense is going to look like. And I'm not going to say now it's no excuses for Jameis Winston now. That's what a lot of people like to say when they start adding a lot of pieces around QB.
Like, that's too far. Yeah.
But even then, this is not. I wouldn't say this is not the first time we've seen Jameis Winston with a good group of weapons anyway. So I wouldn't. That's one of the reasons why I wouldn't say that. But also, I just want to say that I like just what they're doing around it, just all the way around it. And I'm anxious to see what it's gonna look like. You know what I mean? Got a good tight end in Taysom Hill because he definitely ain't no quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna say good tight end, solid tight end. Y'all know what he gonna do. But yeah, that's what it's kind of looking like for this team, man. What's your thoughts on this move and bringing Jarvis Landry over there?
No, I love it, man. And shout out to Gerald McClure Jr. in the building, man. He says he likes the move as well, man.
That's my dog, G-Mo.
G-Mo, what's going on with you, boy? Hey, when your name was Gerald, I started to call you G-Money, but I ain't know you like that. I ain't want, I ain't want to overstep. That's G-Money in the building. What's happening with you, bro? But yeah, man, I love the move, man. And Jarvis Landry may be one of the most disrespected players in the league. This is a guy who, despite people say he's small, he's the same height. He's half an inch shorter than OBJ. Nobody calls OBJ small. They an inch apart. You know what I'm saying? People say he's slow. Now he's slow. He ran slow. But if you look at his numbers, his production, I'm talking pre-injury OBJ. The first 4 years of their career, their numbers are damn near identical. And that's without 4.3 speed or 4.4 speed. That's without a 6'6" 3-cone shuttle. That's without a 37-inch vertical. He has none of the athletic talents or natural just skills or just raw superior athleticism that OBJ has. And they forced 4 years in the league. They had the damn near identical numbers. Or no, maybe it was the same amount of catch. The numbers weren't far.
I think it was more so the catches.
Okay, yeah.
Because if you remember, OBJ exploded yardage.
No, you're right. You're right. Or yeah, you're right. I had seen. You know what? I should have. I had seen some stat that compared the two, and they numbers were just so close and similar. And it's just
First 4 years, Landry averaged 100 catches a year. That was first 4 years. His rookie year, he had 84. Then he had 110, 94. Then he had a 112, which he led the league in receptions. The year he had 112 in Miami. That was his last year in Miami.
Okay, yeah, but now this is a guy, man. He's a tone setter, man, and he's a tone setter as a receiver. There's not many guys that are tone setters at a receiver, and being a tone setter doesn't necessarily mean that like Justin Jefferson, for my money, is the best receiver in the game, but he's not a tone setter. Normally on offense, a tone setter is Marshawn Lattimore is a tone setter. He's a guy that makes a 6-yard run and everybody on the bench is falling out. They see hype and amp because he gets everybody going. Jarvis Landry gives you that as a receiver. Steve Smith was a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? Hines Ward will go on a block, will set the team up. You know what I'm saying? Set the team off. You know what I'm saying? Like guys that really set the tone, the tempo of the team, man. He's one of those guys, and he's underrated leader. Everybody's probably seen that clip when he was in the Browns where he called out everybody for practicing weak and da. Like this is a guy, man, who just never gets the credit or respect that he probably deserves because of a lot of the tangible things that people look at, because his tangibles aren't sexy. You know what I'm saying? 4.78 40-yard dash. That sounds horrible. You know what I'm saying? It still does, but it ain't stopping. Forget if averaging 100 catches a year, his all of years in Miami. You know what I'm saying? He produced in Cleveland as well. So anyway, I say that to say, man, I love the signing. He goes back home, pairs up with an old teammate, Tyrann Mathieu. You know what I'm saying? They all play together. Him, Tyrann, OBJ, all together on those on a LSU team, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. So all of them going back home, man. So I really do like the move. Just like you said, him, Michael Thomas, Suave Olave coming in as a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So I like that grouping. And yeah, I love the move. The money, I hadn't seen the money until you just said it. So 3 guaranteed with 3 in incentives. So for $6 million, Jarvis Jones, 32 teams, 31 other teams should have went and trying to vie for his services for $6 million. This is a guy, he's still young too. Is he 30? He may be 20. Is he 29 or 30?
He'll be 30. Yeah, he's 30 this year. 30.
So he's 29 turning 30.
I'll take him for $6 million. I'll take him for $6 million.
You damn right. I take him for 10. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a guy who any stat he gives you, he adds more than that value to the team. Locker room, aggressive, tone setter, holding guys accountable, calling dudes out. And he's a guy that could call somebody out because people know he put in the work. People know he got dog in him. So that's why when he called people out of Cleveland, don't nobody say nothing because they know he one of them. So you could do that. Everybody can't even act like that. You know, we've been in the locker room before. We know them, you know, we know them ones where he want to get up and rally the team.
They come around, look at you side. They don't sit down somewhere.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Sit down. Come over here.
Exactly. So we all knew that, man. But now Jarvis one of them ones where like Jarvis come and check you. You got to think about it like, man, you know what, bro? You right, bro. I got to step it up. You know what I'm saying? So he one of them, man. You can't put a price on stuff like that.
It's one of those. It's a guy that demands respect. You know, he's a guy that
demands respect, bro. Yeah, exactly. So I love players like that. That's why I'm a huge Steve Smith fan. Like if Steve Smith is a Hall of Famer in my book, and I'm gonna take Steve Smith probably ranks higher on my list than a lot of other people's lists. You know what I'm saying, because of that type of moxie and attitude and production. You know what I'm saying? Because you do gotta, you know what I'm saying, you do gotta show up and be about it too. You know what I'm saying? So all of that, man, I really like and respect Jarvis Landry as players. I like the move. I didn't mean to get so long on that one. My fault.
You good, man. We rolling. But we're gonna stick to that same ordeal with some of these players going to new places. So let's go and jump into the James Bradbury move, man. That was a move that we just found out today. He signs a 1-year deal worth up to $10 million with the Philadelphia Eagles, man. And I'm reading through it. It would look like there was 11 teams out there reaching out.
I saw that.
In which he narrowed it down to 3. I didn't find out who those 3 teams were, but he went ahead and decided to go with the Eagles. My opinion on that is he saw what the moves that the Eagles have been making. They look like a promising team. He has a good tandem cornerback over there with him in Slay, and they are in. And not only that, he gets to go back and terrorize his former team, who decides to get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? Late in the game and try to put him behind the 8 ball. So of course, let me go take this. Let's go bust the Giants in the head when we go play them. Let me go lock everybody up like I probably do every day in practice. You know what I'm saying? Except I'm gonna do it when the lights on this time, 2 times. I'm gonna do it with the lights on. So he gets the signing there over there with the Philadelphia Eagles, man. And just like we kind of mentioned earlier in the group, man, the Eagles have been making some really good moves this offseason, man. They had a lot of good pieces. So adding James Bradbury is another good piece that just fits in well. I think fits in well with this defense, and just adds more firepower to this team. Willie Jack, what's your thoughts, man?
No, man, I like that as well. And just like you said, man, it really kind of ticked me off when he got released when he did, because it was in the news that he was getting released before the draft. I mean, it wasn't a secret at all that he was going to be released. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to get rid of that contract. In fairness to the Giants, his first year there, he played pretty well. Last year, it wasn't a stellar year, but this is still a young player, still a very solid player, and a very, very dependable starter. I would still qualify him as. I just hate the timing of it. When I did hear that there were 11 teams interested, man, I was happy for him in that. But even still, 1 for 10, if he's released more appropriately, he may have signed somewhere 3 for. He may have got $12 million a year. You know what I'm saying? That contract may have been 3 for 35. You know what I'm saying? Because 1 for 10 is very good money, and especially at this point in the game. But no player likes playing without with that uncertainty. You know what I'm saying? Football is a play-by-play sport. You know what I'm saying? We all know that. You know what I'm saying? These plays ain't guaranteed. You start a game, you ain't guaranteed to finish. So not having the security of additional years or additional guaranteed money like that is really kind of worth its weight in gold. So he got 1 for 10. I love the fit with the Eagles. The only thing the Eagles didn't address in the draft, and it was one of the things that I know myself and a lot of the pundits on TV, I don't know how you felt about it, but cornerback was looked at as one of their top priority positions that people would feel they need. They went and got they've needed it for a while. Darius Slade was a tremendous hit last year in free agency, and then it would have been something if you could have looked at their draft, you say the only thing y'all didn't do was grab another corner. You know what I'm saying? So now you even fill that hole now. And no, I love that move, man. The Eagles ain't playing around, man. Hey, Duke, man, whenever you see this, man, hey, y'all better make some noise, boy, because I tell you what, y'all go out there and lay an egg with all these moves made, man. Hey, I don't know what's going on.
And I'm gonna bring the question back again to you. Now with this move, you taking Eagles or you taking Cowboys in the division? They threw it. I know the last time I asked you, it was like, all right, they brought AJ Brown. Now they threw another one over there. They threw one of the top 10 corner in the league over there with them. What's your thoughts on it now? Is it the same? You feel the same?
Is he top 10? Yeah, okay. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I think right around 10. I think 10 is probably his high side.
Around there.
Yeah,
around there.
Yeah, right in there, right there. I think what you're saying. Yeah, in the area. Okay. It's on Jalen, man. It really is on Jalen. And I know I'd be kind of hard on Jalen, and I don't want to get it misconstrued. I want him to do well, but what I want and what I see is different. You know what I'm saying? So I want him to do well, but it's almost like Tua in Miami. Boom, exactly. Tua in Miami. And that's also a funny comparison because Tua took Jalen's spot in Alabama. And so, but they're both in the same position professionally now where both these teams are really doing their damnedest to put as much talent around these guys and on both sides of the ball we've seen. And so it really just, this is it. This is make or break. You got to show up and show out right now. You know what I'm saying? Because if something don't go wrong, okay, Jalen Reagor looked like a bust. He wasn't handling it. Well, guess what? Take a top 5 24-year-old receiver. Take a top 5 number 1. You know what I'm saying? So now you ain't even got that now. You still got Devontae Smith. You still got Miles Sanders. We just talked about the young offensive tackle they got. That line is one of the most solid ones in the league. There really aren't many more holes on this. So to answer your question,
call it. Just say it, bro. It's all good. It's all good, brother. I'm gonna tell you what else I seen. I seen a stat.
Yeah.
Every time the Cowboys make the playoffs, in which they did this past year, they don't make it the following year. So I'm gonna throw that out there. That's gonna help you out a little bit.
Hey, you know, man, give me the Eagles by a nose, man. Give me the Eagles by a nose. Little bro in the building, what's going on with you, big dog? But yeah, give me the Eagles by a nose. And I think it's going to be just more in totality of the team. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I think, like, head to head, I don't think either one of those teams are going to sweep each other. But the Eagles may have a better overall season win-loss wise. Well, no, I don't know, man. That's still a close one. It really is.
It's
Really still a
hard
close one.
because, and the one thing that I keep thinking about too, and it's easy to fall in the trap and say, man, he's the same old Cowboy, and it could be, but I think that's more so a mental thing, a mentality thing, and I think the main difference with the Cowboys is the defense, and I think on the defensive side of the ball this time around, they got some dogs to say, oh no. These ain't them old Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Michael Parsons will have something to say about that. Lawrence will have something to say about that. Diggs, I think they all three of those guys will have something to say about, like, nah, these ain't the same guys y'all thought he was. You know what I'm saying? If it was still mainly because of the offensive guys, then yeah, I'm questioning that. You know what I'm saying? I feel a little iffy about that. But because they got those guys on defense, I think those guys, like I said, they'll have something to say about it. And we're going to see them win some defensive games this year. It's not going to always be on the offense. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be tough, man. But I do feel like those are going to be those two teams. They're going to battle it out. And who knows? I haven't did a full.
I haven't checked out the schedules yet.
Yeah. I haven't did a full look at the schedule, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got Eagles, Cowboys lined up for Week 18 of the regular season, and the game really come down to who's gonna win that division. So I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, the NFL kind of got good about doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to make sure that last week means something.
Yeah, that's all. I just hate that they do it back to back. They might have a divisional matchup in Week 16 and then have it come right back in Week 18.
Week 18, like, come on, man. Yeah.
We don't need that, man.
Exactly. Yeah, that's terrible.
All right, let's keep on moving, Willie Jack, man. Let's go to the last signing. This guy is one of the guys that actually didn't go to a different team. He stays with his same team. Cornerback Jairo Alexander, man, for the Green Bay Packers. He resigns for a 4-year, $84 million deal. Includes a $30 million signing bonus. You need to call Alexa. You need to hit up. Go ahead, hit up.
Shoot a young dog. Get paid. Man, hey. 84 M's, bro. 30 of it guaranteed. 30 of it in a signing bonus, man. Both of those are record numbers for a DB, is what I saw. Going to be 22 a year. So, man, now love the signing, love the move, love the player. So I have no issues with that one at all, man. Phenomenal player. Like he's a guy. He got a little banged up. Last year. Yeah. So he got a little banged up, but he's a guy, like, heading into last year, and I don't know if you remember, I put him right there. Well, you're not as high on Jalen Ramsey, but I put him right there 1B to Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? Now he got injured and the season wasn't what it could have been, but I'm very high on that guy, man. I'm trying to remember where he came out of, because I was high on him when he was coming out. I almost want to say Louisville, but I don't think that's right. But anyway, definitely a fan of the player, and so love the signing. And you know, when you lose, I like that.
Louisville, you had it right, Louisville.
Oh, okay, yeah, man. Y'all know I do this, man. Y'all better stop playing with me, man.
Hey, hold on, dog. He said, I don't want to say it right. He said, oh, y'all know I do this.
I do this, man. You know, I was on the spot. I was trying to remember when I was on the spot, because like real talk, like I really was a fan of his film, like, coming into the league. I'm trying to think who else was in his class. It was a pretty decent corner class when he was coming in as well, if I remember. But no, so I liked him before he got to the league, man. Definitely like what he's done in Green Bay in a short amount of time, and just that class of receiver, him, Denzel Ward. There's another one Marshawn Lattimore, I think, is in their class. Like, it was a pretty deep group that year. If they all came out, if they didn't all come out the same year, they all came out within a year of each other. But that young cornerback group is, man, the cornerback position is really taking off, bro. Then another year down the road, you got AJ Terrell now. You got Patrick Surtain from last year. You know what I'm saying? These are guys that are top. These are guys fighting for top 5, and there's 7 guys that can be argued as top 5 right now, and all these guys are young guys. Jairo Alexander, Denzel Ward, Marshawn Lattimore, AJ Terrell, Patrick Surtain after this season. You know what I'm saying? So this season coming up, if he builds on that rookie year, then and like you were saying, you were higher on Surtain than me. I liked JC Horn better, but like Surtain as well. But I like Horn better. Horn had that dog in him. But like I said, Patrick Surtain after this year may very well be arguing and throwing his name in the hat for top 5 corner as well. And so it's a very, very deep position, very, very young position. So just exciting to see what these guys are doing, man, especially when one of these guys gets paid, man. So you already know what I love. You know, I already know I love to see that. So, yeah, love the move, man.
Yeah, but since you mentioned it, man, might as well throw out a couple names that was in there. You did say Denzel Ward. So, yeah, Denzel Ward was in that draft.
I think Denzel Ward was my number 1. And I think I had Jairo Alexander number 2.
Yeah, and those were, honestly, going back and looking at this list, those were the ones that kind of stood out. Carlton Davis was in this draft. He went in the second round. Mike Hughes went to Minnesota.
To Minnesota, I liked Mike Hughes a lot. I think Mike Hughes was my number 3. Was he Central Florida?
Mike Hughes was, Central Florida. Yep.
Mike Hughes, I remember. I liked him a lot.
Then a couple of the names, Josh Jackson, Dante Jackson.
Guys Carolina. Like Dante Jackson was out of LSU. I think he was my number. I think he was in my top 5. I think I had Denzel Ward, Jairo Alexander, Mike Hughes, Dante Jackson. I don't think Carlton Davis made my 5. It's somebody else that I'm missing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, I definitely remember that class. It was a pretty good class.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, let's move on, man. We got another big check. You said what?
So shout out to young guys cashing big checks. You feel me?
Go get your money. Yeah, bro. They young and living.
Sure.
Young and living.
Guys in the building. What's happening, bro?
Well, let's go ahead and move on, man. Let's go to some of these other some of the other news, man. And not so good news, but we'll run through it anyway. Tariq Corn, I know that was one thing that we wanted to talk about, man. He's been struggling to get on the field for a little while now, man, and suffered some more bad news. He actually suffered a ruptured Achilles. Of course, that's going to keep him out the entire 2022 season. And me and Willie Jack actually talked a little bit about this, man, but could definitely put him in a tough position, especially for a guy who wasn't. He was explosive, you know what I'm saying? He was one of those guys, you get the ball in his hands, he's dangerous, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't like one of those every down guys. One of those guys.
He wasn't a play-in, play-out player, but he was still a guy that offered a lot of value, man, as a, you know what I'm saying, a lot of move-around piece that you can use them in a lot of different ways, for sure. How old? But I know that's what me and you was talking about earlier. I couldn't remember how old he was. I want to say 26, 27?
Tariq Corn is he's 26. Very young.
Okay, 26. Okay. Well, man, that's better, man. You know, them running back years is dog years. So 26 and 27 is a big-ass difference.
Yeah. Those running back years are dog years. But the good thing for him that he has going for himself, he doesn't take a lot of his because he's not getting a lot of those carries that your every down running backs are getting. You know what I'm saying? So his wear and tear is a little bit different than, say, a guy like a Nick Chubb or a guy that's getting 20, 25 a game, Todd Gurley, those type of guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So,
and that's what's crazy about that, because him and Todd Gurley's a little older than him. Or is he? Yeah, no, Todd Gurley's probably a year or two older than him, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't worry about it. You know your boy.
No, yeah. Todd Gurley's definitely not 26. Todd Gurley signed a second.
Gurley's 27.
Okay, 27. Okay, there we go. And that's the point I was going to make, and that's what we was talking about earlier on the phone. This kid's career may be over. I hope it's not, and I'm just talking like worst case, and it's just because, like, recovering from an ACL, well, Adrian Peterson made us all believe that it was just clockwork. You could bounce back in 6 months and run for 2,000.
Yeah,
everybody ain't built like that. Everybody ain't built like that. You know what I'm saying? But still, yet an ACL isn't a death sentence like it was probably 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But he tore an ACL and an MCL, and so he's been out for, I think I had saw week 3 of 2020. So he's been out for the remainder of 2020 and all of 21. So essentially 2 seasons. He's working out. He's finally healthy. He's trying to get himself in the league. He's trying to put his name back out there. He's working out on video. I saw people knocking like, man, why are you trying to flex on video? And like, nah, man, like that has real value. You know what I'm saying? When people work out on these videos, teams see it and teams call. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like one of those things where he's caught up in social media. I had seen that in I had seen that mentioned. it wasn't that at all. And to see this happen, man, and Achilles is a drastically more significant injury than an ACL or an MCL. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really is. You may never regain the same level of explosion off an Achilles. You know what I'm saying? You can bounce back and be stronger than you were on an ACL or an MCL, one of those. The Achilles don't work like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So prayers up to him, man. Hope he really recovers and finds his way back to the league. A guy that in the short kind of time he was in the league, kind of like Chop was saying, wasn't a down in and down out back, but he's a guy, screens, punt returns, kick returns, just third down receiving duties. You know what I'm saying? He still can be a thunder and lightning just on traditional handoff. So he still offers a lot of value, man. It was with the Bears predominantly. I don't know if he played with anybody else but the Bears, but definitely hope he finds his way back, man. I hope this isn't the end for him. I just put myself in his shoes. Man, I can't imagine working 2 years to get back to the league, and then when you finally healthy and try to show everybody you ready, you get even a more significant injury. So that's just extremely tragic news.
2023, man, that boy gonna be with the Chiefs.
Hey, man, I hope so. Hey, I hope so, man. I just hope
that would be a great fit for him. Great fit for him.
Yeah. No, I just hope it ain't. No, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know, because I don't know what he offers that's different than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's quicker, but they the same style of player. Because Clyde Edwards-Helaire, it doesn't appear to be a down and out back.
But so they do give him the ball that many times. They've given the ball to Clyde Edwards-Helaire about 15 times a game. He's supposed to be their starting running back, but he just can't stay on the field.
Did they draft a running back? I can't remember. They might have brought in somebody else as well to share that load and take that spot. I can't remember.
That's a possibility. It's a real possibility. Yeah. But in other news, man, let's keep on moving. Willie Jack. We got former Seahawks and Ravens safety Earl Thomas, man, was arrested this past Friday after a warrant went out for his arrest more than 2 weeks prior on an alleged violation of his protective order. All right. The warrant was issued on April 27th after Thomas sent threatening messages to a woman and her children. Thomas faces a third-degree felony for 2 violations within a 12-month span. Willie, talk to me about this one, man. What's up with your boy, man? I know that was one of your guys.
Talk about a fall from grace. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a guy who was a surefire Hall of Famer when he left Seattle. He left Seattle as a Hall of Famer. He was still, I think, 28 years old. He still had good ball left in him, or he should have had good ball left in him. He leaves and goes to the Ravens, and I was pissed. I'm like, oh, my God. How can somebody let this happen? Yeah. I was looking for David Stern to come block the trade. Like, David Stern in the NBA wouldn't let Chris Paul play with Kobe. They was like, you know what? No, that's too much. It's too much. No, we ain't doing it, bro. Chris Paul, take your ass up the road, go play with Blake Griffin. They wouldn't let Chris Paul play with Kobe. And I was like, man, y'all mean to tell me y'all gonna let Earl Thomas go play with the Ravens? I was sick. And then it didn't pan out. He had attitude problems. It sounds like he was very cocky, feeling himself, wasn't putting in the same work that he had been known for in Seattle, and et cetera, et cetera. Got into a fight with one of his teammates and got himself cut.
Right.
And then even when all that happened, I was still shocked to see that he didn't get back in the league. This is a guy. And it's so crazy. It's so crazy how like time and history, like how narratives change. Earl Thomas had made himself like the prototype of a range free safety. Like when that run, Legion of Boom in Seattle with the you know what I'm saying, the cover 3 coming back in vogue like it did, coming back in style, and he established, like, teams were in draft rooms looking for the next Earl Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he was. Phenomenal player, you know what I'm saying? And then to go from that to ruin your own reputation in Baltimore, and then who knows what else is going on behind the scenes. He doesn't get another call, and now this comes out, and those are the charges. But specifically, the articles I read said that he threatened to poison his ex-wife and kids. And I was like, okay, poison your ex-wife, man, whatever, because divorces are nasty. Divorces are brutal. You say stuff you don't mean. Von Miller told his baby's mother, you know what I'm saying, his ex, he wished death on her too when they broke up. You know what I'm saying? Like, divorces are nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, whatever. But man, with his kids too, I don't know how bad it get. I don't care how bad my baby mama made me. Like, I'm gonna threaten to kill the kids too. And like I said, still words in anger are words in anger. But just to see just how his career started and where it's at now, just terrible. You know what I'm saying? It's just terrible. And honestly, I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer now because we know how much this stuff impacts.
We've seen this play out before. We've seen this play out before.
We've seen this play out before.
On a lot with less circumstances, with less. I would say if you were trying to decide on how bad the things were. I mean, T.O., how long did it take him to get
That's all I was going to say. T.O. did sit-ups in his driveway and had to wait 3 years to get into the Hall of Fame. The man finished number 2 to Jerry Rice in every single category in the league, had to wait 3 years to get to the league or to the Hall of Fame because he did sit-ups in the driveway. Like, come on, man. And so that's ridiculous. I mean, well, it gets deeper than that. I don't want to oversimplify, but still, never anything like this. And so, like I said, man, a guy like Earl Thomas, who had really, like, man, set himself apart at the position, probably doesn't make it now. That's a damn shame.
Right. What's going on, Cass Bath? Cass Bath in the building. Keisha in the building. I missed you a while ago. I don't know if you're still in here, but Keisha, what's going on? But
what's the word,
man? Well, this is the type of situation where I feel like, man, all you can do is, man, just pray for the guy, man. Pray for him. You know, I don't know. We just pray for him. Hope he gets, you know, gets help. You know, hope he gets better. You know, and just hope he can, you know, clear his conscience and clear his head of a lot of the thoughts and the things that he's going through. I'm hoping this. Somebody mentioned in the group CTE. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that's not something that he's going through.
No, I don't think so, man. I hate that's being used as a, I don't want to say excuse, because I think CTE is a real thing, and it was a thing that was being thrown around with AB as well. AB situation is a little different because it seemed to be a more sharp decline and more drastic, but not when the stuff with AB came out, and then AB did an interview. Oh, you know what? When he went on the Pivot, and they were talking about CTE, and I don't know if it was on that specific episode or whatever, but the effects of CTE, like, those aren't the things that hit you right now, like in your youth. Those effects, you accumulate the damage at this time in your playing age, but those effects don't hit you until you get, you know, until 45. 50. Like, these are the things that hit you down the road. It wouldn't be like, you know, like CTE doesn't hit you like a concussion where now you've got the effects of a concussion right now. You sensitive to light, nauseous, vomiting. CTE doesn't kick in instantaneous like this.
You done had a couple of concussions, huh?
Man, hey, boy, I done had my bell run, boy. They didn't call them. See, when me and you played, they wouldn't call concussions. You just got your bell run. Yeah. But yeah, that's a fact.
Oh, yeah, you hurt or you injured?
Yeah, but hey, man, in facts, bro.
You heard or you injured? Boy, you better get out there.
Bro, I remember like hearing the symptoms of what's considered a concussion. I'm like, boy, that was twice a week in practice. What you talking about?
I had a couple of those.
You mean like a little bit of ear ringing? That's a concussion? Like, bro, like, man.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I swear I had a concussion. We played one. It was one of the first games I played, and at CMU, I was on kickoff. Came down. I think I made the tackle, and I made a pretty good play on it. All I know is it went black until I got up, and then when I got up, I was good. I ain't feel nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
I ran straight. I wasn't
right.
stumbling. I just gave on the field, and people was hitting me on my helmet like, "Yeah, good hit." I'm like, I must have did that.
Hey, that's what's crazy about football too, boy. You go out there and get smoked, and to congratulate you, everybody slap you in the helmet. And these don't be pats. They be slapping. Hey, if you weren't concussed on the field, you definitely was on the sideline when somebody told you good job. That's a fact.
Yeah, bro. I was like, I ain't know what was going on, but that's crazy, man. That's just. I just hope for the best for him in his situation. I hope that whatever he's going through, man, he gets through it. You know, him and his family. You know, and not just for him, man. Just speaking from a father's point of view, man. For the kids, man. And the kids deserve better. You know what I'm saying? They deserve better. Point blank, period, man. So I just hope everything gets better with that. And then, last but not least, man, got to touch Deshaun Watson, man. Got to touch Deshaun Watson. He is now undergoing his first meeting with NFL investigators, man. And the league is trying to find out if he violated the NFL's personal conduct policy. This is where we really find out, you know, if he's gonna play, if he's getting suspended. You know, what we're gonna find out all all the things that we really been waiting to find out, here in the next, I don't know how long it's going to take, but these are the things we're going to find out throughout this investigation, just to see when Deshaun Watson will be able to get on the field for the Cleveland Browns. Willie, got any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, man, this is the problem that I have with the NFL, bro. You mean to tell me you had a whole year last year? The boy wasn't playing games. He was sitting at the crib. He wasn't hard to find. And now, like, it just the way, whether or not we agree with the punishments that are handled or handed out, or who gets punished, or how severely one player gets punished compared to another player. Aaron Rodgers and Antonio Brown had the same offense, lying about vaccination. One of them was playing the next week. One of them was suspended for 4 games. Period. I don't care whatever. No, they both lied about vaccination status. You know what I'm saying? So there's things like that annoy me or piss me off. This is just, enough is enough, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason at all, because now I just don't understand the timing of it. Like I said, because now, and I know the NFL probably wants to get past these type of things as fast as they can. Well, now you're the one bringing it back up. You're the one keeping this fresh in the front of everybody's mind. Like, why just now are we really moving forward and looking into addressing the situation? Now, I'm not going to say they haven't been monitoring or doing their due diligence, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Somebody should have spoke to his ass before now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was.
I'm going to say, well, I think it's more so about, one, NFL's reputation, and not jumping the gun, right? Because it was just, maybe about a month ago. Was it about a month ago, 2 months ago, when we find out that the charges were dropped, right? So that's when we find that out. I think what the NFL was doing was trying to keep from making a decision and then looking bad on the decision if the charges were upheld, and he ended up having to go to jail or something like that. Then, and let's just say, for example, if beforehand the NFL says, you know what, you didn't violate any of our policies. You good to go. You good to go to play. You know what I'm saying, to start week 1, and then he goes through all these cases, outside of the NFL, and they say, oh no, you got to serve this amount of time or do this and this and that. And now it's like the NFL is looking like, okay, we got to change something, because how can you deem a person eligible to play a football game, but legally they about to go to jail? You know what I'm saying? You get the
I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. And then here's what I say to that, because it depends. They got to choose how they want to do it. If you don't want to look stupid because of what happens in the criminal investigation, then let your determination be on the strength of the determination then. So, like, if they didn't want to find him innocent, well, and I hate using innocence and guilt. If they didn't want to deem him eligible to play and then find out that he's going to jail, and then now they look bad, well, then that means he was found. He's not being charged. So now, why is it that same logic being applied now? If you didn't want to be wrong, if he's found guilty, then now that he's been found, I hate to use innocence, but for lack of a better word right now that he's been found innocent,
not guilty,
whatever it is, the charges, he's not being indicted. So innocent, guilt ain't got nothing to do with it. Now that he's not going to be officially charged criminally, so then why isn't that enough then? So now the NFL is going to go in and tell him, no, you were wrong, even though the justice system told him he was right. So I don't like it on this side either. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's got to be one way or the other. If the NFL doesn't want to be subject to looking bad in the court of public opinion and being on the other side of, like, legal proceedings, then just step away. Just in criminal investigations, just say, hey, NFL, hey, we play football. We don't investigate crime. We're going to let it play out. If the court found him guilty, guess what, my boy? You suspended. The court said he's not getting indicted. Hey, guess what, my boy? You playing. Leave it cut and dry like this. I think the NFL, they make it harder on themselves by trying to be more than an NFL. You're a football program. You're an NFL football league. You know what I'm saying? Stick to that. Do good at that. If you don't want to get caught up in the criminal stuff, then let that stuff adjudicate itself and then let that be the guideline. But if you are going to investigate it independently, then why do you need to wait to see what's going on criminally if you're going to do your own investigation anyway and your investigation isn't contingent upon the criminal finding? You get what I'm saying? So if you're going to do an independent investigation regardless of what they say, then you need to do your shit day one. Don't do it on day 366 because it was a full year and now it's day one of the new season and now like, oh yeah, let's take a look. Like, no, bro. That's what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that.
That's the NFL establishing their own standards, their own way of things, and their own values when it comes to the situation. I don't think the NFL's values are the exact same when it comes to stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's the issue. And I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? It has to be a better way for something like this to be handled. But I just think overall, just the NFL just have their own standards, their own values. The same with steroids, like with the D-hop stuff, right? I know it's a little different, but at the same time, it's like that's not a criminal. That's not against the law. It's not an offense, legally. You know what I'm saying, when you're talking about the law. But within the NFL, you know what I'm saying, that's the way that that's looked at. Yeah, you deserve a suspension because of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so those are the type of differences that they try to establish. And I think you can't just, when you're the NFL, you can't just come up with those. You have to come up with them all across the board. So I think that's kind of why they going through the process.
I think, like you're saying, that's too drastic a difference. Because I think, like D-Hop situation is closer to Tom Brady deflating footballs because it just affects the competitive advantage of the game.
Right.
So I'm all for the NFL regulating how they want to suspend players who they feel like are cheating because that's your wheelhouse. This is exactly what you are here to do. That's part of your game. But I'm saying, like, the criminal investigation, now that type of stuff, that like the charges against Deshaun Washington, they supersede football. It's bigger than football. Just like the episode with Ray Rice, you know what I'm saying, or the things that with Ray Rice. So those things are bigger than football. And so that's why I'm saying, like, either make your decision and just be like, look, man, we're not a criminal. Like, if there's criminal wrongs being done, then the law will handle that. Now, for football, this is what we're going to do. If we decide it's 2 games and then he goes to jail for 2 years, all right, he went to jail for 2 years. Don't be mad we gave him 2 games. We play football. This is what we do over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really got egg on their face with that Ray Rice situation, and that's why I can't believe Ray Rice couldn't have sued or did something because they reviewed it. The NFL saw that tape. The man got suspended for 4 games and was due to come back and play again, and then the tape gets leaked. And now he gets resuspended. What's it called? If my little brother in here, he's still young enough, he just got out of school. Show me you know something. What's the law called where you not double jeopardy, where you can't commit the same crime twice, but you can't be like prosecuted for the same exact. I want to say habeas corpus, but I don't think that's the right one. But essentially, if I get convicted of robbing a bank on Friday the 13th of 2022 and I serve a sentence, I can't then be charged again with robbing a bank on February 13th of 2022 and be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I paid for that. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what happened with Ray Rice, because now that the dirty logic got aired out, now you feel bad. Now you feel like you look bad. People are coming at you and attacking you for how weak it was or whoop. What they should have did was just said, hey, look, they should have just stood on it and just left it alone. But instead they didn't. They went back, they redid, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not saying one way or the other. If the NFL saw that video and decided he should have been gone all year, then okay, then stand on that. That's the decision. But if you saw the video, decided it was 4 games or 6 games or 8 games, however many it was, then stand on that as well.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
They saw that drawback they was going to get from a lot of these fans, man. That's what they saw.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's money. Bro.
I mean, and it is, but it's just frustrating.
I get you.
Like,
I'm
where the others I want to be. Like, yeah, the fact that they just now waited almost 2 years to talk to him before you get started, like, that's ridiculous. Y'all didn't let him get traded. You didn't let him sign the most expensive contract in NFL history, and now it's like, you know what? Hold on, let's go holler at him. And now what? Now that all the dust is settled and he's not indicted, now he's going to be suspended 8 games. Come on, man. Like, enough is enough.
I understand, Willie Jack. I
Yeah,
understand. I understand, man. All right, man. Well, Willie Jack, man, that's pretty much the news, man. So now you know what time it is, and
for
it
sure.
ain't it ain't time to talk about most impactful players in new places. It ain't that time
For
yet.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm about to. I thought the hoop was behind me. I was about to throw me a lob. You know what I'm saying? Thought the hoop was behind me. You know what I'm saying? I already been dunking on a couple cats.
Already.
But this is what we're gonna do, Willie Jack, man. We got a few people in here, man. I think you need to let them know what's going on, what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? So we can move forward with what we supposed to do.
Yeah, man, y'all know what time it is, man. It's time to shout out the sponsorship, man. Shout out to the sponsorship, man. The Three Amigos, man. Like, share, and subscribe. I keep telling y'all every week, bruh. Chop lights on, my fan going. I got air conditioning, and that's all thanks to the sponsorship. Like, share, and subscribe, man. That's 3 the hard way. That's a 3-piece spicy. You know what I'm saying? That's burger, fries, and a drink. Ain't nobody hungry, ain't nobody thirsty. Do you feel me? Now I keep telling y'all because a lot of y'all be forgetting. And I don't know why. I know y'all got short attention spans. I keep telling y'all every week because y'all be forgetting. Like, share, and subscribe ain't it, my boy. We keep telling you, like, share, and subscribe, let you stand in line. You ain't in the club yet, though. You ain't in the club yet because it's a 4-step process. Like, share, subscribe is the Three Amigos. It's 3 the hard way. It is a 4-step process. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Step number 1, you tap in with 3 Amigos. We appreciate you. We love that too. But that ain't enough. That ain't enough, Playboy, because now you got to tell your friend. You got to tell your friend to come holler at your dogs here and let the film speak. That ain't enough either because some of y'all get lazy. Some of y'all do tell a friend. Some of y'all like, share, subscribe. Some of y'all tell a friend. But that ain't it because you didn't tell your friend to tell a friend. Huh? We on step number 3 now. We on step number 3 now. Chop played baseball. Somebody asked Chop how many bases you got to touch before you go home. 4. You got to touch 4 bases. Right now, you on 3rd. 3rd ain't never got nobody home. Do you feel me? Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friend. Tell your friend to tell his friend. And then tell your friend's friend to tell his partner to come on. Because we tired of playing with y'all, man. Tap in with your dogs, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell your friend to tell a friend. Tell your friend's friend to tell his partner. And then everybody come on and holler at your dogs, man, and let the film speak, man. 3 Amigos. 3 the hard way. A 3-piece spicy. 3-piece spicy ain't never went wrong, bro. You can't never go wrong with a 3-piece spicy. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself, man. Let the film speak. Tap in with your dogs. Now back to the regularly scheduled programming.
All right, let's get to it, Willie Jack. Now, this is what we came here for, man. This is what we came here for today. We're going to jump right into it. We put it out there earlier, man, so everybody can see. Now, let's talk about some of these moves. There's been a lot of offseason moves. I'm talking about free agent signings. I'm talking about trades. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things going on this offseason. You know, some teams are looking better. Some teams aren't looking as good. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to talk about it right now, man. We're going to talk about the most, some players that are in some new places, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be the most impactful for the new teams, man. And let's jump right into it, Willie Jack. Give me a name, man. Give me a name. I'm going to come back with you. We're going to go back and forth. Man, you give me your name first. What's your first one? What player you think is going to be very impactful for that new team?
I mean, well, I ain't gonna lie, man. The first one for me, I think is a no-brainer. I think for me, I had to start here. Russell Wilson going from the Seahawks to the Denver Broncos. To me, that's got to be the number one most impactful move. It's the most impactful. It's the most impactful position, and it's the most impactful position, especially when you have a top tier talent at the position, which Russell Wilson still is. And so you go and get one of the premier talents at the position, at the very best position, or at the most impactful position in football, and you bring it to a team. And now that might not always be enough. You know, Russell Wilson going to the Texans or to the Jaguars or to the, whoever, that may not be enough to get you over the hump. But for a team that has legitimate talent, and now you go bring in a guy of that caliber, that is what takes you from a team that's fighting and scrapping to be a 6 or 7 seed to a team that's got their sights set on the AFC Championship. This is a team that legitimately now has a real chance to make a run at a Super Bowl. Now, maybe it's this year, maybe it's next, just whatever. The point is, like, to elevate your team from a pack of 12 teams that, they're going to fight and get in, and whatever happens. They may get hot. They may do this. They may do that. To elevating from there to the level of where there's a handful of teams that realistically or have a chance to go to a Super Bowl. And I think Denver is now in that conversation. With that same roster last year, they're not in that conversation. They're a team they're gonna fight. They're gonna scrap it out. Maybe they make the playoffs. They have no realistic expectation of being a Super Bowl contender. Now they do. You know what I'm saying? And so for that reason, man, I had to start my list with Danger Russ, man. My dog, Danger Russ, Russell Wilson, man, going from the Seahawks to the Broncos.
And Russ we trust, man. And I'm right there with you, Willie Jack. That was actually my first guy too, man. And for a lot of the reasons that you said, but just to add on to that, man, and this is where I feel like Russell Wilson, and I don't know what you've been hearing, Willie, but to me, Russell Wilson has been getting a lot of disrespect, man. He's a top 5 QB, man, in a league before the injury last year. The injury just happened last year. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He came back, and I think. And this is the problem I have with most NFL fans, right? Because they only remember the last thing that happened. And
what have you done for me lately?
They only remember that, and sometimes they overplay what happened, at the last minute. Russell Wilson got hurt. He came back. He struggled for a few games. Don't get me wrong. Still coming back from the injury, but it's the quarterback position. It takes time. But I don't know if you remember those last 2 games of the season. They probably don't remember that. It was some teams that they felt like the Seahawks were going to lose to, but Russell Wilson came out there on fire and blew out whoever were those last teams. I wish I remember who those teams were, because I think one of them he threw like 5 touchdowns against. You know what I'm saying? He lit them boys up.
I'm trying to think as well.
But either way, Russell Wilson is that guy. He's still a top 5 guy. You give him a full offseason. And not to mention, he's also one of those guys who's a huge competitor. So you think Russell Wilson ain't hearing this noise that everybody talking about, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson ain't that guy, or he's this or he's that. Best believe he's coming out ready to play. You know what I'm saying? This particular season. And he's coming to take over this division. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a dogfight, and we all expect that. But I could for sure see us talking about Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos next year, the way we just got done talking about Matthew Stafford and the Rams after they finish up this season. Don't forget, Rams were pretty much a QB away. Now, they brought up a couple of extra weapons, and those were huge weapons. But they brought up a Matthew Stafford. And we could be looking at the Broncos the same way we're looking at Matthew Stafford now, except Russell Wilson has always been a better quarterback than Matthew Stafford. You know what I'm saying? So you've seen the impact that just bringing over Matthew Stafford had. You're going to see pretty much that same, if not a better impact with Russell Wilson going over there, because they got already established top 10 defense. They got a great two-headed monster with bringing Melvin Gordon back in their running back. They got solid weapons on in the receiving core. So I'm right there with you on that, man. Russell Wilson, I feel like is hands down going to make the biggest impact, because he instantly turned this team that didn't make the playoffs into a Super Bowl contender going into this season. So Russell Wilson was my guy too. Not to mention they brought in Randy Gregory too to pair with Chubb.
A couple other pieces came in as well.
A couple other pieces. But Russell Wilson is by far the biggest, and I think he's going to make the biggest impact on this. And I'm going to jump into my number 2, Willie Jack, and then we can go from there, man. And my number 2 is a little bit different. Now, if y'all was here last week, I talked to y'all about the rankings, you know what I'm saying? And y'all know what I had, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got to repeat it. If you want to see it, you can go back. It's still on Facebook. Go back and look at it. We can talk about that then. But my moves that I feel like are, and I say moves because it moves with an S, that I feel like are also going to make some of the biggest impact is going to be Go ahead. What's up?
So you can list a series of moves and not like one player?
I'm gonna list them. I'm gonna list the players.
Players?
Listen, man.
Come on, look.
The offensive line trilogy of the Cincinnati Bengals, man, that they brought in. That trilogy. Look at Willie mad at me, y'all. Willie mad at me. He wanted.
Man, man. That's a different type of ranking. That ain't fair. All right, go ahead, though. Go ahead.
The offensive line trilogy, man. I grouped these guys together, and the reason why I grouped them together because them together are going to make the impact. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be one guy that's going to make a single impact that's going to make their team that much better. It's going to be them together. And I'm talking about Alex Kappa. I'm talking about Ted Karras, and I'm talking about La'el Collins. You know what I'm saying? Bro was sacked 70 times last year, including the playoffs. And we all remember
and he got hit another 170.
Yeah. And we all remember the 9 times he got sacked against Tennessee, in which they still came away with the W. Okay?
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me I can get sacked 9 times, come away with a W. Then I go in the offseason, I go get 3 good pieces. Now, just so y'all know exactly where some of these guys came from. Alex Kappa, guard, he came over from the Bucks, who had a top 5 offensive line unit the last 2 years in the NFL. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Very impactful for their team. You bring over Ted Karras. I hope I'm saying that name right. I hope I ain't messing it up. He's going to be playing center. Came over from the Patriots, you know what I'm saying, which is also a very good unit, one of the best units in the league, top 10 unit. That same unit that threw the ball 3 times against the Bills and came away with the W. You know what I'm saying? That win don't go on nobody but the offensive line. The offensive line won it, and the defense. And
that running game,
yeah, that offensive line got that win for sure. And then La'el Collins coming over from the Cowboys, man. Another good unit. You know what I'm saying? Another reason, part of the reason why the Cowboys were looked at as one of the best offensive line units in the league. So you bring those 3 guys over, man, to an offense that was ranked number 9 in points per game and 14th in yards per game, and think they ain't gonna improve. I'm gonna tell you like this: it's gonna be some smoke in this city over in that AFC, over there with them Steelers and them Ravens. It's gonna be some trouble over there for them boys. Now it's gonna be a tough division as well. I think Baltimore is probably gonna be the toughest team for the Bengals by far. But the Bengals, with the additions that they had, you already got Joe Burrow, who's looking like, you know, he's gonna be one of the top quarterbacks in the league for years to come. He's young, man. That was only his 2nd year in the league. That's scary. You know what I'm saying? That's scary. You look at the same way you see some of these other quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and some of these other guys. Not saying that they're the same type of quarterback, but that's scary to look at a guy be that good, that young. Herbert, another one of those guys, that young, that good, that early. They have, by bringing those 3 guys over there to help out with their offensive line, they have everything to get back, and not only get back into the playoffs, but make a really, really good run at another Super Bowl shot as well. So 2 teams in the AFC already, man, with very, very impactful moves. Denver and the Bengals, we could very well see them, you know, meet each other, you know what I'm saying, when it's all said and done in the AFC Championship game towards the end of the season. So that is those group of guys. I know I cheated a little bit, Willie Jack, but hey, man, I'm just making it work. Those group of guys are my 2nd most impactful guys going into this 2022 season.
No, and that's good. But I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? And so, and honestly, it actually does make sense because offensive line is more about a unit than it is an individual player. You know what I'm saying? You know, one piece on one line doesn't hit.
Really,
you know what I'm saying? It just really does. Yeah. And all those guys did come in the same offseason. And so I ain't mad at it, man. And I like it. I didn't consider it because I didn't think outside the box like that. But hearing you talk about it, it really does make sense. And so, no, I'm not mad at it. My next one for me, man, and maybe I'm drinking a little bit too much of the Kool-Aid.
It's all good, man. Come on with it, man. Come on with it.
I really, really, really loved the pickup and addition of J.C. Jackson by the Chargers. And the reason why I'm going there, because there's an ancillary effect. So indirectly, his value is even also indirectly improved as well because they also bring over Khalil Mack. And so Khalil Mack on his own, it didn't move the needle as much because that secondary was still going to be an issue. Derwin James definitely needed somebody else back there that's a real difference maker. I do like the young kid, not Antoine Winfield, the young corner they got.
Asante Samuel Jr.
Asante Samuel Jr. So I did like him as a rookie, and he's a guy. He's going to be, you know, a slot guy and a move around guy, and you know what I'm saying, a playmaker, gets his hands on the ball. But J.C. Jackson, also coupled indirectly with Khalil Mack, both those players, like if the Khalil Mack move was an 8 and the J.C. Jackson move was a 9, them two together, or now they each get an extra point for me. Khalil Mack's move is now a 9, and J.C. Jackson's sign is now a 10 because rush and coverage feed off each other, as me and you know. You know what I'm saying? So cover guys are better when the quarterback's throwing the ball sooner, and rush guys are better when the receivers are covered longer. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very symbiotic relationship. And so the moves, I guess, kind of tied it in, like you said, then just the moves the Chargers make, bringing both those guys in, and especially just in that division where you need all the defensive firepower you can have. We just talked about Russell Wilson coming over there with a very young, a little still unproven, but a very young and capable offensive roster around him. Cortland Sutton's coming back. Jerry Jeudy, we assume his situation is going to be he's not going to miss time for that. Tim Patrick, who also showed himself well. You still got KJ Hamler over there. You've got Javonte Williams, a loaded offense, and now Russell Wilson's over there. So you need secondary. You still have Kansas City. Yes, they lost Tariq, but they still have Kelsey. They bring in Juju. They bring over Marquez Valdez-Scantling. They add some pieces in the draft. So this is a division that you need defensive help, and I think specifically you need defensive backfield help, because the biggest thing that happened last year is that my nephew. You hear that? Am I tripping? You can't hear me? I can't hear you, but I'm hearing like background noise, like it sounds like Jackson.
Oh wait, hold on.
Hold on.
I was already on.
Okay, Willie, can I say something?
Okay, now I can hear you. Yeah, I was texting. I was gonna say I was hearing Jackson in the background. But okay, yeah. But no, I'll wrap up here. So I say all to say the biggest difference last year with the Chargers couldn't really take that step and overtake the Chiefs. They had that shootout game where both teams scored 50. You know what I'm saying? And not to say imagine J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack now on that, like, are the outcomes, is the outcome of that game? I'm thinking about the one they lost when Kansas City was at their place and they lost a shootout like 50-45 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like these two pieces on that team now, it's a different ball game, and maybe now it's a different division as well. You know what I'm saying? So I think their impact is going to be tremendous on a team that I think is ascending. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Chargers team is primed to take another step, and J.C. Jackson imprint in cahoots with Khalil Mack, the move for Khalil Mack, I think is really going to exponentially make that defense better. And then all those two on top of Derwin James now finally being healthy and turning in an all-pro worthy season last year. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a tremendous move for that defense.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that one too, Willie Jack. This was the one thing with me, like when they first got the Khalil Mack move, right? I know you said that was the move that you said felt like moved the needle the most for you as well. But when
it wasn't enough.
Yeah, so when they first got Khalil Mack, the first thing I thought about was we seen this before. You know what I mean? And reason with Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa. Now, before everybody start feeling like I'm being disrespectful, we talking about Khalil Mack now. We're not talking about young prime Khalil Mack. We talking about Khalil Mack at this age now. And when they had Melvin Ingram was more so in his prime. So I think that move was a little bit more comparable as far as what we were seeing, what we see now with them bringing Khalil Mack over, if that makes sense. Now, bringing J.C. Jackson over was also another move that I feel like, okay, now it's a different style of player, but I'm like, we kind of seen this move before too.
Who they bring over at corner before?
They didn't bring anybody over at corner, but they had Casey Hayward, who was
oh man, that's not. It's another planet. It's a whole another planet.
I wouldn't say that, Willie Jack. I wouldn't say that. Now, what I'm saying is they had a tandem on their defensive line. They also had a top corner. I think the difference is, along with that tandem at the ends and that good corner in J.C. Jackson, they have another good corner in which he plays slot corner most of the time, and like you said, Asante Samuel. But then you also have Derwin James, who is arguably the best safety in the league. Now you put those two in there, now you cooking. You know what I'm saying? Now you cooking. You got a few extra pieces. Those pieces alone, like I said, we've seen some of those good pieces before, but now we cooking now. Now, on the other side of the ball, you still got Herbert. I expect him to continue to get better, continue to improve, continue to do what he does. You know what I'm saying? So I think these moves can be very impactful with what they already had and what they added. So I want to see what it looks like. You know, I'm a Herbert fan anyway, so I want to see him do good. I want to see him ball out.
He wasn't even on your top 10 team, bro. But the Raiders were, boy. I still can't let you lay that one down. That was a terrible take.
Which one?
The Raiders in the top 10 and not the Chargers, bro. That was a horrible take, bro.
Did you see that though? Did you see that? The same post you made, you seen who was the number 5 ranked that team on that list you posted. You know how you thought I ain't tripped. I seen it.
Oh, which one?
I seen it. When you it was the one where you put the teams that made the biggest moves or whatever the case may be.
Who they
Denver was number 1. You was talking about Denver. Uh-huh. Denver was on there. The Chargers were on there, but the Raiders were number 5 team on that top 5.
I'm saying, but who they bring over besides Devontae Adams though?
They brought over
Devontae.
Huh?
It was just Devontae that was like a major. No, they brought over a defensive end. Then they traded for Yannick and Ngakoue. Yeah, Chandler Jones. But that's I don't know. I'm not as high on it. And I like the Raiders because I like Derek Carr, especially what he showed last year. But man, Chandler Jones and Devontae Adams, bro, I don't know how it swings the needle that much, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But you know what? I'm gonna try to pull the rest of that move because they made a few more moves too. It wasn't just those two. But either way,
like, I mean, those are the premier moves. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Those are the premier ones. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I mean, you bring over the best receiver in the league. You know what I'm saying? And a really good.
Boy, it ain't 2018. Boy, it ain't 2019. Boy, we get out of there. Hey, it ain't 2020. Hey, man, it's a new sheriff.
I don't know why you still go back and forth with me like Jefferson.
Hey, it's a new sheriff. Hey, don't worry, y'all. I'm gonna get the rankings. I'm gonna get the rankings out to y'all sometime this offseason. I don't know. I'm gonna find the right time to hit y'all with the rankings going into the season.
This just like we talked about before, man. You gotta come if you want to become the number 1 wide receiver. You gotta come take that spot. And Devontae Adams ain't gave up nothing yet. He ain't gave up nothing yet.
Hey, you already know. Hey, I ain't new to this, boy. I've been true to it, boy. Hey, Justin Jefferson was my number 1 guy last year.
That means you've been watching. Once he take it, I give it to him. But he ain't took it yet.
Hey, he had it last year. If you ask me, he had it last year. If you ask me, and only one of those guys was playing with Aaron Rodgers. I'll tell you that much too.
See this one. Oh, he ain't playing with him this year, so you gonna see him. Watch your boy. Watch.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, should I go into my 3 or
jump into another one, man? Give me another.
Okay.
Go ahead, Willie Jack.
Okay. So my number 3 move, man, is I'm gonna say Von Miller going to the Bills.
Okay.
And I think it's one. I don't know if it made your list or not, but I feel like this move it's not under the radar, but I don't know if I feel like it's getting as much attention as it is, because I see what Von Miller did to your Rams and really getting y'all over that hump, especially once he got his feet settled and gained his bearings. You know what I'm saying? He really helped that defense reach a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? A very reliable and dependable and excellent pass rusher now to tandem with Aaron Donald, made plays all throughout those playoffs, made plays in that Super Bowl. And so now he goes to Buffalo. He's there earlier. He's there now. He's not coming over mid-season or toward the end of the season. He's there from day one. He's going to be more solid and more ingrained in that defense. And also, this is just the same thing like we just talked about with the Chargers, with Khalil Mack having Derwin James in the back end, having J.C. Jackson, having a young Asante Samuel. Von Miller's going to a defense that was ranked number 1 last year. Now they completely let my dog Big Josh Allen down in that Super Bowl, in that playoff game with the Kansas City Chiefs. But that was the number 1 ranked defense in the league last year, and they didn't have a dominant pass rush. They were the number 1 defense in the league without a Joey Bosa, without a TJ Watt, without an Aaron Donald. You know what I mean? They had Greg Rousseau and Ed Oliver. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they had a guy who had more than 8 sacks on that D line across, and they ran 8 deep. So this is, I think, a very, very, very good move on their part. Josh Allen and these Bills, man, they're primed and ready to really come in and make their mark, and adding Von Miller to that defense to also give them the identity of that defense is being concentrated in the back half. They've got probably the best safety duo in the league over the last few years, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. Those two guys together, I think, are just a tremendous pairing. You've got your Davius White, who's still over there, who's still very solid. He's been a little banged up here and there, but you still have him as well, who's got an all-pro under his resume as well. You've got 3 players in a secondary. I believe Hyde and Poyer have each had an all-pro year as well. So you've got 3 all-pros in the secondary, and we just been talking about the marriage between pass rush and coverage, and now you bring over a Hall of Famer, Von Miller, who we just saw coming fresh off a Super Bowl. He's still got plenty of gas in the tank, and things could get real scary for these boys in the AFC once they get rolling. You know what I'm saying? You still got Big Josh Allen on the offensive side of the thing, offensive side of the ball, still going to do his thing. And now when Josh Allen gets that lead on you, now Von Miller pins them ears back. You know what I'm saying? And now they really get to have some fun. And so I really like that, man. And hopefully this is the you know what I'm saying, the straw that breaks the camel's back, man, and the Bills get over that hump.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm anxious to see that, man.
What's the word, man?
Jeff in here, man. He say, and I'm not sure. Are you talking about the Bills secondary? He said that secondary can't stop a cold. Let us know what secondary you talking about, Jeff, because I want you to send it over to us.
I mean, I don't want us to get. We can't just like Chad said earlier. You know what I'm saying? What have you done for me lately? That Chiefs game was more so an outlier than what they did all season. That was a very stout defense, man. That was the number 1 defense all season. You know what I'm saying? It was a very stout unit, and like I said, they just laid an egg, man. They laid an egg in that Chiefs game, and there's no hiding or running around it. You know what I mean? They very well could have been the team that was playing in the Super Bowl last year. Oh, he also he said they do play the Jets 2 times, the Dolphins 2 times, the Patriots 2 times. He said I look like they was cold too. Well, hold on, man. The Patriots are still the Patriots. The Patriots beat them boys throwing 3 passes. So you can't just you don't just overlook the Patriots. Talent-wise, I'll take the Bills all day long, but you still just can't overlook the Patriots and what Bills going to have cooking. The Dolphins aren't going to be a walkthrough this year. They weren't a walkthrough last year. The Dolphins were a borderline playoff team last year, even with Tua being a JV quarterback. You can't overlook them as well. Now the Jets, I'll give you. The Jets, they played tough in spots, but that was just a very young team. Now y'all be easy on them Jets because Zach Wilson got something to say after this year. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna, that's yet to be seen. But nah, man, I'm telling you, the Bills got a very, very solid squad over there, man. And Vine is gonna be a big part of that, assuming everybody's healthy.
So I respect I respect you putting Von Miller on your list. You know what I'm saying? I completely understand where you're coming from and with your analysis and everything. But I honestly feel like this could be a move that could be a little bit more underwhelming than the some of the other moves that we've seen in the offseason. And here's the reason why, right? Well, one, it's only one guy. So I don't feel like Von Miller is going to make them that much better. So as far as his impact, I don't know how much of an impact he's actually going to be. Secondly, he's not going to have that guy on the defensive line unit with him that's going to demand that attention. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Donald is a guy that demands double team, you know, pretty much every play. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if the Bills have another guy like that. So for teams that they're going to play, they can start devoting that attention towards Von Miller. You know what I'm saying? They can start putting a guy or two over there on him if that's, you know, the case. So I want to see how if he gets back into true form with that, because one-on-one, yeah, you definitely don't want to block Von Miller one-on-one. He's going to eat your cake. We seen what he did. He closed out a few games for us. So I'm with you on that. But with him being that guy on that defensive line, is he the one going to see double teams? Is he going to be getting chipped? You know what I'm saying? What is that going to look like? You know what I'm saying? So that's why he didn't quite make my list. But go ahead.
No, I got you. But just like you said, and that's why I was talking about his run with the Rams, because I don't think like his statistical season in full. I'm not saying he's going to be 15 sack Vine, 18 sack Vine, 20 sack Vine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about specifically in the championship run. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Vine is game 6 Clay. That's what I'm talking about. When it's winning time and it's time to put boys to bed. Hey, game 6 Clay come to play. You feel me? And that's what Vine's gonna do. And so that's why I think that's why I put his value there, because I'm not looking at. I don't think necessarily he's going to be a top 5 sack artist as far as the sack numbers go, but I'm thinking, just like you said, when it's time to close the game, when you do need a big rush in a big spot, and we know you got to pass the ball, I don't give a damn if you got the tight end to tackling somebody chipping. Vine can make a play. You know what I'm saying? Vine is an established guy that steps up and makes plays in those moments, and he's done so. And like I said, he's getting older. He's 32 now, but like I said, from what we saw with him, once he got himself settled in LA, he still has plenty of gas left in that tank. And so that's where I think he makes his mark. It's not so much for the season, like win to win. I don't know if they'll win more games, like statistically, but the way they're able to win those games. Like now, the defense, Josh Allen might not have to score 3 touchdowns in 45 seconds, because now Von Miller might get that sack. He might get that strip sack. He might end that game before it has to go to overtime. Or, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's in those championship moments. That's where I think it's going to make his hay. And, like, so I'm looking at the Bills are a team that I expect that should be competing for a Super Bowl. And so I think he's the guy that can get him over that divisional hump or that AFC championship hump when it's winning time. And now they're the Bengals this season. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think that comes into play. But no, I get what you're saying, though, as far as everyday sack numbers and statistically and throughout the whole season and being I do dig that. But yeah, but I'm looking at it on the side.
Gotcha. All right. And then my last, I'm gonna throw in one, and then Willie Jack. What we can do is, if you got any other ones, man, throw them out there really quick.
Okay, yeah.
And we can kind of run through those. But my last one, man, I went. These guys, to me, I think can make equal impact. One I think more than the other. You know what? I'm gonna just go ahead. We talked about this guy a little bit earlier in the. Nope, I'm gonna talk about somebody different. Let's go Matt Ryan to the Colts. Matt Ryan to the Colts.
Okay.
He could be one of the most. He could be part of one of the most impactful moves coming over from the Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan, 37, but definitely showed last year that he still had a little bit left in the tank. He can do some things. He's still smart.
Matt Ryan still plays good ball for sure.
He's still smart. You know what I'm saying? He's a veteran. You know what I'm saying? He can definitely be a guy that can take a team like the Colts, you know what I'm saying, to the next level. You know what I'm saying? This was a team that was ranked 9th in points per game and also ranked 9th in points against per game. So their defense was pretty good. The offense was pretty solid. We've seen what their run game could be with having Jonathan Taylor. The offensive line unit, one of the better offensive line units in the league as well. You know what I'm saying? So, they're a very well-rounded team. And as we saw, we thought he was going to be something else. But Carson Wentz just didn't end up being that guy that we thought he could possibly be, or wasn't that MVP Carson Wentz that we seen from a few years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Matt Ryan's going to be what we thought Carson was last year. I'm with you.
Yeah, so I think having this team, if everybody else around on the Colts, offensively and defense, can just play the same way that they played last year, I think they easily get 2 or 3 extra wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely see Matt Ryan being making a big impact on this particular team and getting them into the playoffs. I can see them being in the playoffs and could possibly be making some noise. So Pittman I think he's going to be better. A lot of people don't like, not as big of fans as Pittman as I am, but I think Pittman, man, is going to be solid for this team for years to come. So I'm interested to see what this is going to look like for the Indianapolis Colts.
No, and then you know what? That one, I like that. And you know what? I completely overlooked Matt Ryan. And as you know, I'm a Matt Ryan fan, and I completely overlooked Matt Ryan. But it's the same argument that we just made for Russell Wilson and the Broncos. It's the same exact argument. This is a team that's got pieces on defense. Now, I don't think offensively they have as many weapons because you've got Michael Pittman, but the cupboards are kind of bare on the outside. That's why I don't know why they didn't if the Saints got Jarvis Landry for $3 million guaranteed with $3 incentive. I don't know why the Colts weren't in on that or gave him. I know he probably wanted to go home, but I don't know why you don't give him that $6 guaranteed and tell him money talks. Come over here, playboy. You know what I'm saying? Like so, but so I would have liked it for them to have done a little more there. But you still, like you said, you have Jonathan Taylor establish himself as the best young back in the game. Brandon in this thing, what's going on with you, dog? Hey, Colts play the Bills week 1. Do the Bills win? You damn right they win. It's Big Josh Allen, boy. Come on, man. You know what time it is. Big Josh Allen. It might go. When's the last time somebody went undefeated, man? Was it 67, 69 or something like that with the Dolphins? Hey, man, you got to quit playing with Big Josh.
No. It was the Patriots.
I go that far.
The Patriots, bro.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, not all the way through. I'm talking about Super Bowls, baby.
Oh, okay.
Tom didn't close the show. Big Josh Allen is going to win the Super Bowl this year. But I'm just talking junk. But no, I really do like that pick, man, for everything you said. I like Michael Pittman as well. Michael Pittman was almost a Steeler. So I definitely like Michael Pittman. The Colts got him before us. That's why we got Chase Claypool. We were looking for a big body guy to you know what I'm saying, to pair with some of the guys we got. So I like his game as well.
Hold on. Let me curate something, Jeff. I thought I wasn't tripping. The Bill, first off, and this probably gonna spark some up. Bills ain't going to see no Colts week 1. You know who they going to see? You know who they coming to see Thursday night? You know what I'm saying? You know who they come? Yeah. Hey, think about it. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. It's gonna be an L for the Bills. Just put it like that. I'm gonna put it like that right now.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. He was saying if, but I ain't gonna lie. I don't know who they play. I ain't really looked at them schedules yet. We're gonna do some over and unders and some predictions.
They going to see the Rams. They going to see the Rams. Don't worry about it. It's an L. That's an L.
Yeah, that's a dub.
That's an L for them.
That.
You can count
can book it. Hey, no, you can book that one. Yeah, you can book it. That's a dub.
September 8th.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They go to see the Rams. Go ahead and take that L. Hey, and then we move on.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, you can book. Yeah, you can book that one. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to. Scoop ain't in here. I'm gonna make sure Scoop over here watching this game with me, so I can talk in his ear all night long with Josh Allen out there throwing them things on him. You know what I'm saying? But no, I really like that, man. I do like that on your list. Though. I do want to say that, and I agree completely, man. I completely overlooked that move, and I definitely agree. That is a very good move for a team that has pieces in place. They've been a quarterback away, and now the only thing is, it's Russell Wilson to a lesser extent. Yeah. I still don't think that they're a Super Bowl contender, but now they're definitely, firmly, viably a real deal contender to still make a push in the playoffs. Like this, not make the playoffs because they're better than that. They're not just going to make it. I think once the playoffs start, they're a team that not a lot of people are going to want to play. Nobody wants to deal with a running game. Nobody wants to, nobody wants to deal with that if that running game is going like it was last year, and especially when you got a quarterback in Matt Ryan that could punish you when you do commit that extra guy to try to slow down Jonathan Taylor. So I do like that addition as well. And then I did write a couple down. I wrote a couple young guys down, man, to kind of, and I don't know if you have some as well. I'll go ahead and lump them together since they're both rookies, guys who just got drafted, but they're, new players and new faces. I got Breece Hall, the running back from Iowa State, getting drafted in the second round by the Jets. And then I got Sky Moore, man, receiver from Western Michigan, drafted in the second round to the Chiefs. Both these guys, I think, can really, really hit the ground running. Now, with Breece Hall, I'll start with Breece Hall. Now, the Jets don't have as high of prospects as some other players or as some other teams do. I don't expect them to necessarily make the playoffs. I don't expect them to compete for a Super Bowl. But just as far as his impact and what he's going to bring to his team, he's going to be the day one starter at running back. He's definitely going to help make life easier on Zach Wilson, who I am expecting to have, to take a nice step this year with some of the other pieces they put around him as well. I'm hoping so. But I just think that he's a guy. Running backs, and I've said this before in the show, and so y'all already know how I feel about running backs. Running backs are ready to go out the box. You know what I'm saying? Some players need to warm up a little bit, and that's why I had Breece Hall above Scott Moore, because receiver, everybody can't beat Justin Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't beat Jamar Chase. Year one receivers don't always hit like that. Adrian Peterson was the best running back in football his rookie year. Arguably, he ran 1,800 yards. You know what I'm saying? Rookie Adrian Peterson was just as good his rookie year as he was his 2,000-yard year. You know what I'm saying? Like running backs hit like that. LaDainian Tomlinson, Clinton Portis came out of Miami, was the best back in the league that next year, or arguably so. You know what I'm saying? So running backs come ready out the box. Breece Hall is ready out the box. They got Mekhi Becton. They got Vera Tucker on that offensive line. I think Becton's moving from left tackle to right tackle. But yeah, I think I heard that as well, which also proves my point that Andrew Thomas was the better left tackle prospect. But it's all good. But like I said, I still like those pieces. You've got Garrett Wilson now on the outside, and just like we were talking about with Jonathan Taylor, if that running game is going and you make it respectable, now Garrett Wilson over the top. You still got Corey Davis. You've still got old boy from Ole Miss, Elijah Moore. Yeah, exactly. You still got Elijah Moore. So I think his impact just on that team, not as far as overall championship or playoff success, but just this is a guy. And it may be premature because I haven't looked at everybody like that yet. We haven't got there yet. But I would think just right now thinking he's got a chance at Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year is a very stat-driven award, and the quarterback class this year is super weak. You know what I'm saying? So he's not really threatened by a stud receiver or stud quarterback. And so that means this year I would look for a young running back to come in and maybe win the award. And I think Breece Hall can really be that guy. And then number 5, Sky Moore, man. I love Sky Moore. We both are big fans of him, man. He's a guy. There's an opening there. I'm not saying he can take it. He's a young and inexperienced player at the position anyway. Tom just got in this thing, boy. Hey, he said I'm here. He just got here. It's all good, bro. We just like church.
We was talking about ruptured Achilles earlier. Where you was at?
Hey, we sure was. Hey, we sure was talking about ruptured Achilles. He must have been when we talk about Achilles, his Achilles probably started tingling, and so he got in here. That's probably what it was. He's like, hold on, man. Somebody said Achilles. Wait a minute. His Achilles started itching, and he showed up. But Sky Moore, man, I don't think he may not hit the ground running like Breece Hall, but as the season goes on, and if he is able to separate himself in a receiver room that's going to be wide open in my mind. I mean, I think Juju's solidified, Valdez-Scanlon's solidified, but this is a team that goes 4 and 5 wide at the drop of a hat. You know what I'm saying? So there's room for him to get on the field, and if he shows up and makes plays, man, the way he's shown the potential to do so, then, man, this is a guy that could really, really, really be seriously could be the steal of this draft. Like, I was so impressed with what I saw for him, and so those would be some other guys that I would throw in as far as young guys. He said, Jeff hating on my dog, Big Josh Allen. Bills play the Rams L, Ravens L, Steelers L, Chiefs L, Green Bay L. If Watson plays, the Browns L. The Vikings are L too? He said 10 and 7, maybe. He said, Willie Jack, go to the Brown bag. Hey, drinking this season. Both his teams are wild card teams. God, bro, why you have to be so hard on me, bro? Hold on, let me look at this. Now, week 1 Rams on the road, that's a tall order, but like I said, this ain't the same Rams team. They lost Vine. Well, you bring over Bobby Wagner, but Bobby ain't got nothing to do with Josh Allen throwing 4 tubs at 500 yards. So I ain't worried about that. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that Rams game, that's a tough one. I'll give you that one for the sake of your argument. Now I'm betting my money on Big Josh Allen, but I'll give you that. That's a respectable L. Ravens, I'm not so sure. Ravens have a lot of pieces coming back on offense, but even still, I don't trust that offense to keep up with the Bills' offense. And that secondary, the Ravens are their strong. Well, see, there's too many questions on that Ravens team, and I don't know if it's at home or on the road. But I think that Ravens game is a winnable game, especially if it's at home, because they've got all those people in the secondary coming in and coming off injury, and then rookie Kyle Hamilton. So I don't know. Steelers, I ain't gonna lie, we bust their head last year, man. But I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna front. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's Big Josh.
I was waiting to see what you was gonna say too, bro.
No, it is what you know. What I'm saying, like we reload. Man, we had 20 years of competitive play. Now we still ain't gonna roll over, but yeah, man, that's a tall order though. That's gonna be a tall order for us. So I ain't gonna give them that Steelers L either. Chiefs, I'm taking them over the Chiefs. He should have beat the Chiefs last year in the playoff, and now that team is better, I think, with Von Miller on defense. I'm taking them over the Chiefs, and the Chiefs lost those weapons. Green Bay, who's Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball to? Give me the Bills. Give me Big Josh Allen. Watson, whether he plays or not, that's a dub. The Vikings, respect to my dog Justin Jefferson, best receiver in the league, but no sir, no sir, that's a dub. So right there, I just gave them 3 more wins. That's 13-4. That's 13-4 right there, bro. Come on, man.
All right, man.
Tom said, A-Rod throwing the baby mouse. Hey, man, Tom, boy, if you right on this one, boy, I tell you what, boy, you called that one from 1.5 miles away. Because that's been, I'm telling you, I don't see it. I done seen big, fast dudes all day long. I done seen big, fast dudes from Clemson fail out the league in a season and a half. You going to tell me a big, fast dude from North Dakota State who can't even catch the ball at North Dakota State's going to be the one to hit? You might be right. But I don't know, man.
All right.
Okay, he's at Baltimore and at KC. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. At Baltimore is its own animal. I ain't worried about at KC. Josh Allen threw 6 touchdowns to Kansas City in the playoffs at night. So he ain't worried about that. That's the crib. KC might as well be the crib for big Josh Allen. He comfortable. He real comfortable. He might go in there and sit down and get dressed in the home locker room. He gonna go in there, dap Mahomes up, make himself real comfortable, make a sandwich because he's at the crib. That's how I feel about that.
Hey, man, look, I'm gonna give you a couple of my honorable mentions, man. A couple of guys. I did have Deshaun Watson on my list.
Okay.
As one of, because he could definitely be. He could be a guy that could move up my list a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Depending on if he plays right away.
So many questions around it, I just can't trust it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a lot going on. We all know what's going on around him. But this is a guy again, you know what I'm saying, who's at the top of the league, you know what I'm saying, when he's at the top of his game, man. He's one of those guys. And me and Willie always talk about this Cleveland Browns roster. They have a lot of pieces in place. Now, they lost Odell and they also lost Jarvis Landry, but they bring in Amari Cooper, you know what I'm saying? And I just think Deshaun Watson is a good enough quarterback to where he can overcome some of those things. So, hey, if everything works out, the Browns could instantly turn into a very, very, very competitive team in that particular division. So Deshaun Watson was one of those. And then my last guy, of course, Davante Adams, man. Davante Adams goes over there, and I think he can instantly make an impact. I think he is going to instantly make an impact. Like I said before, the Josh McDaniels, you know, him coming over, I think he's going to be the one that's called in the plays. And I think he's going to be able to put some stuff together to make sure Carr and Adams pick up where they left off in college and are able to, you know what I'm saying? I don't see their connection being the same, but I still think McDaniels is good enough to draw up some stuff to definitely scheme Adams open, because we know Adams is going to see some double teams. What's going to help him, though, is the fact that they still got Waller and they got Renfro. You know what I'm saying? So
for sure.
you can't do that all the time. If you got, you know, Waller over there, he's a walking mismatch. So you're going to have to put some attention to him as well. So I think Davante Adams is definitely going to make an impact on that Raiders team. So I'm looking at this like I want to see what this offense is going to look like, man. So those are a couple of the teams that I had on my list.
Okay, no, that's true. And I know I was giving you a hard time about the Raiders. I do like the moves they made, but I just don't feel comfortable that those moves put them above the Chargers or the Broncos, what the Broncos did. But I do like the move in addition. I do agree that Josh McDaniels now having, you know what I'm saying, those toys to play with. I'm curious to see what he's going to cook up. Real quick, my dog Tom, he said he was the text to the playoffs. I'm not going to lie, Tom. Well, y'all not going to make the playoffs. Hell no. But the Texans, y'all are going to be way better this year. Like if we're ranking like team improvement just 1 year to the next year, then I think the Texans may very well be one of the most improved teams this year. You know what I'm saying? I am curious to see how Davis Mills does now officially as the guy. They're going to give him the keys to the car, see if he could drive. And you shout out to Chop. Chop was higher on Davis Mills than I was in the draft season 2 years ago coming out of Stanford. For me, he didn't play enough. I think he was a 1-year starter. I think he had a short season as well. He played like 8 games. But there was definitely some good in there. But no, Chop called it. Chop had him in the top 5. And honestly, the more and more he played for Houston, the better he got, the better he looked. So I do think he's going to do well. They re-signed to keep Brandon Cooks. You bring over John Mechie from Alabama. Now, Mechie's coming off an injury. I don't think you had to get him in the second round. I think you overdrafted him. But he's still a guy. I think he's a number 3 receiver, honestly, but still just a solid, just dependable piece. You bring over Damian Pierce is the running back they brought over from Florida. That running game was terrible. They had 8 running backs last year. All of them looked like hot garbage. You know what I'm saying? So you bring over Damian Pierce. And I think Who?
Derek Stingley.
Oh yeah, the drafted Derek Stingley. If he hits, like I said, I think I mentioned in one of the things. If he hits, bro, that could be Champ Bailey. That could be Darrell Revis. I mean, those are big names. If y'all know about me, y'all know I love some Champ Bailey. I think Champ Bailey historically is underrated. Champ Bailey was locked down for a decade. Revis was locked down for 3 years. Champ Bailey was locked down for 10 years, a full decade. It doesn't get appreciated enough. But so I do like the Stingley pick. I like Damian Pierce out of Florida. He's a thumper. He's a bruiser, big body guy. He doesn't really have much wiggle, but I do like him. So I do like some of the pieces y'all added, Tom. He said they were all over 45. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Tom. He said they were all over 45. You know what he's talking about? They were all over 45.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, you guys explain what you're talking about. But I said all that to say I realistically do think that you guys are going to be very improved this year for sure. I'm not gonna lie, I do. I like Kenyon Green, the offensive lineman. You know what I'm saying? I like the offensive line move as well. He's gonna play guard. In a pinch, you can let him play a little tackle until you know what I'm saying, y'all figure something out. So I like his pick as well. And so but yeah, I think y'all gonna be most improved. I think the Texans, the Jets, honestly, I think the Dolphins I think are gonna be a vastly improved team this year as well. So those off the top of my head, those would be probably the 3 teams that I think are, well, maybe not the Dolphins because they almost made the playoffs, but the Jets and the Texans for sure, I think are really gonna kind of get a little respect this year. They're gonna turn people's head a little bit like, hey man, they playing some ball. Like they not winning, but they playing ball. And so I think the Texans and the Jets are both gonna be 2 teams we look at like that.
Gotcha. And Tom was talking about their running backs. He said they all over 45. He's making the joke about.
Oh man, man, you ain't lying, boy. Hey, Mark Ingram and Philip Lindsay might as well be 45. I don't know what happened to him. He fell off the back. But
he was just with. I think it was just the system he was with. You know what I'm saying? The system he was with and where he was at. And I don't know why you ain't listen to me. I told you that boy wasn't better than no Joe Mixon, man. Stop playing. But anyway.
No, it was Joe Mixon we was comparing him to. Was it Joe Mixon?
Yeah, it was.
I don't think it was Joe Mixon.
I'm telling you, bro.
Was it Joe Mixon?
I'm telling you.
Why? But that year that it happened, because Philip Lindsay had like 1,200 yards. And he averaged like 5 yards a carry, and he was splitting time, or he didn't get all the starts until later on. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that boy was doing something.
No, what happened was, and that's how he splashed. He was getting those long runs. He was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Not splashed mean like he did his thing and stopped, but more so like he had more of the flashy carries. You know what I'm saying? The long runs and stuff like that to equal up to the amount of yards you had. Where Joe Mixon was slow rolling, baby. Give me 5.
Bro,
give me 8.
He averaged like a yard more per carry.
Mixon
I was like, bro, he just need touches.
Mixon was like, let me get 5 here, let me get 8 here, let me get 7 here. You know what I'm saying? Let me get it. Like he was grinding it out. You know what I'm saying? But either way, man, that's a
fair point. No, that's a fair point. I get to you. It's a fair point.
Yeah, man. But Willie Jack, man, that's pretty much it, man. I think we told him. We just let these boys know if they weren't listening. We told y'all who was going to impact these teams on these, you know what I'm saying? Who was going to be the impact players?
Most impactful new faces to new place. There we go.
That's right.
Most impactful new faces to new place.
We gave it to you. You know what I'm saying? We gave it to you. You're looking for some players to draft, you know what I'm saying, on your fantasy teams. Hey, man, we giving it to you right here. You know what I'm saying? Tune in every Wednesday. Y'all know how we get down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what's going on.
Y'all know we do. No, I know me and Willie keep saying this, but we got something for y'all. We ain't gonna tell you now.
Oh yeah, just be patient. Just be patient.
Just be patient, man. Be patient. We got something for y'all, man. Here in the next couple of weeks, I keep talking to Willie about it. We gonna make it happen, man. It's coming.
We gonna make it happen, man. Y'all just stay tuned.
Patient with us, work with us. We appreciate all the time that y'all been spending with us over the last couple of years, man. And with me and Willie kind of putting this together, man. So continue to stay with us, and we're gonna continue to do our thing. We're gonna continue to, bring new things to the table. And Willie Jack, man, that's about it, man. Bring us on, dog.
Hey, man, y'all heard my dog said, man. If y'all, he said, Willie Jack, let's put the money up. My Eagles go further than your bet made. Bet good, Jeff. Bet good, Jeff. We ain't even talked about the dollars yet, Chop. The bet is good, Jeff. The bet is good, Jeff. Come on with it, man. Y'all playing with Big Josh Allen. Y'all gonna put some respect on my dog name, boy. Y'all gonna put some respect on my dog name, Big Josh Allen, man. Y'all quit playing with my dog. Real quick, man. I'll recap our list real quick. New faces, new places, man. 1 through 5, I had Russell Wilson going to the Broncos. I had J.C. Jackson in tandem with Khalil Mack going to the Chargers. I had Von Miller going to the Bills. And then honorable mentions, I had Breece Hall to the Jets in the draft and Sky Moore to the Chiefs in the draft. Real quick from my dog Chop, he also had Russ going to the Broncos #1. He had the Bengals make an offensive line moves. They brought over 3 starters for a unit that was starved to death for protection. So that was a very good pick by my dog Chop, man. He had that #2. Matt Ryan to the Colts #3. I liked a lot. And then his honorable mention, man, he had Watson to the Browns and Devontae Adams to the Raiders, man. And so, hey, great show tonight, man. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate all the interaction. One more time, man. Let me see what we got in this thing, man. Hey, Jeff said he ready. Hey, I'm ready. Hey, you like it? I love it, Jeff. Y'all gonna quit playing with Jeff. Y'all gonna quit playing with Josh Allen, man. Big Josh. You know what I'm saying? We put the house on him. The house is on Big Josh. You ain't gonna put the house on Jalen Hurts. Don't even hurt yourself. I don't even want you to do it, my boy. Shout out to my dog Jeff in this thing, man. My dog Tom Teasy came through this thing, man. Who else fell through and hollered at your dogs? Let me scroll through. Brandon came through, hollered at us for a little bit, man. Hey, we appreciate the big dog. Mrs. Boyce came through. Moms came through. My little brother came through, man. Shout out to the support system, man. Josh came through this thing, man. Appreciate the love, my boy. G Money was in this thing, man. Appreciate you, my dog. Jarrell came through, man. Hey, Jarrell, man, I gotta get you a shirt or something, man. I just want your shirt to say Day One Gang on it. You know what I'm saying? I got you, my boy. Don't even worry about it, man. Somebody write that down. Write that down for me, Chop. We're gonna get some Day One Gang shirts, man. Let me see who else is in this thing, man. Hey, y'all know what time it is, man. If I forgot to say your name, charge it to my head, man. Don't charge it to my heart. You know I was thinking about you, man. We appreciate the love, man. We appreciate the support. Little brother said he about to drive home for work, man. Be smooth. You already know what's going on, man. I ain't got no choice to, bro. Sometimes it's in you. It ain't got to be on you. My boy, it just happened like that. You know about it. I gave you a little something down the line. You know what's going on, man. Hey, holla at your dogs, man. Let the film speak Wednesdays at 7 o'clock, man. Like Chop keep telling y'all, we got some things in the works, man. All y'all got to do is stay down till we come up, man. We ain't going to leave y'all behind. Stay down till you come up, man. I'm going to start to hashtag all these, man. We write down. Wait till we get some merch going, man.
Yeah,
y'all know what's going on, man. So stay here, man. Stay locked in. We appreciate the love, appreciate the support. We appreciate the engagement, man. Wednesday at 7 o'clock. You ain't got nothing better to do. Come in here and holler at your dogs, man. Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Let the film speak. Shout out to the sponsorship, man. The Three Amigos. Like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate all the love and everybody helping us grow, man. We really do appreciate it. We really love what we do, man. It's not many people that can tell you they love what they do. If you don't believe nothing else, you can believe. Chop and Willie love talking about football, man. And so we really enjoy being here, man. We really, really do. Y'all don't even know how much it means to us, bro. We really enjoy being here. We really like that y'all tune in and entertain us and listen to us, and y'all care what we got to say. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate it, man. Can't thank y'all enough. We are coming, and we will be back Wednesdays at 7 o'clock, man. Holla at your dogs. Let the film speak. You know what's going on, man. Peace.
Peace.